my name's Laura and I'm here for Ocean Genesis, and I'm going to be showing you how I'm setting up my very first ever marine tropical tank. So stick with me and let's see how I get on. Now this is my first ever marine tropical tank. In my family we've had freshwater tanks before, but this is the first time I've ever had my own tank, and it's the first time I've ever had experience setting up a saltwater one. I'm doing this with the support of a few friends, including the guys from Ocean Genesis, who are fantastic, and I'll be working with them to sort of showcase how easy it can be and how difficult it could be to set up a marine tank. So the tank that I've got here is the Evo 52 litre tank. It's really good as a starter tank. It's a very good size for me, so I'm in a one-bedroom flat. I don't have a load of room, but this is ideal. It sits on my desk nicely. I can see it. My living room, like my sofa is literally here, so it's got a nice view from the side and from the front when people come in. I have already put a bit of substrate in there. So what I've got is the Red Sea live reef base. So it's a premium live aragonite sand for marine and reef aquariums. Aragonite, yeah, that's about right. And then I've also mixed in, because it wasn't quite enough to fill up a good inch at the bottom there, so I've mixed in some premium grade tropical marine saltwater gravel. So that's in there too. And I think the first thing I'm going to do is do the fun part. So I'm going to set up the aquascaping of the tank. Okay, so I've got some various rocks here. This isn't live rock, this is not live yet, but what I'm hoping to do is grow a variety of corals on this. So I'm really looking forward to figuring out. I've got a few pieces. I'm actually going to start with the biggest one, I'll start with the biggest one, just to see where that will fit. And I'm probably going to play with these a little bit, because I kind of want to figure out where the best place for each bit is. And bearing in mind as well that my view of this when I'm sat on the sofa is going to be from over here, so I want like a nice amount of view and interest over here, maybe some caves for fish to hide behind, so that they can be there, but I also want it to look nice from the front. And I'm thinking about, corals as well, which is not something I've thought about in a tank before. I normally just think about fish. But when it comes to corals, I want to have like a good base. So I think this one, if I keep it flat, I think that will be quite a nice base. And it's quite angular, like I think that will fit nicely maybe in a corner here. So that could be a nice, I like that. That can be like a bit of foreground interest. What else have we got? Okay, so I've got like a smaller bit here, which has a nice arch to it. So maybe that can go somewhere in the middle. And I'm not really... So I've looked at a few pictures before I did this of some other kind of tanks on Google Images just for like inspiration. So I think I need a bit more height here, because I'm thinking, I don't want it to just be all flat. I want a bit of kind of, height, variance, different places, different like perches for things to sit on, different places for coral to grow on. So I'm thinking this one possibly, maybe the other way out. I'm just going to give it a go. See that, I think, actually, if I just wedge it into the sand a little bit more, that's actually quite secure there. So I think that's where I'm going to keep this one, just to give it a little bit of height. It should come just below the level of the water there. You can see the level line there. And let's see, I think this big bit, I think we need a bit more in the background as well, or maybe over in this corner. So I'm actually just going to stand up and sort this bit out. Okay, so I think this is looking a lot better than it was. I might just experiment with that one. No, I think that is going to be best here. Yeah, so I like this as well, because you've got like some nice height here. You've got a nice archway for the fish to swim through there. And then you can kind of see here, I'll get a different angle on this as well. but there is a nice hole you can see through there for things to swim in and out of, and lots of nice kind of flat surfaces for coral to grow to. Now there's one more little element here that I need to add, and that is this fella, this absolutely real Triceratops skull. Absolutely real, can you tell? I'm probably going to end up naming him like Terry or something, but if anyone has any ideas, comment, let me know. But we're going to go really unoriginal and say Terry the Triceratops. Yes, a terrible name, but whatever. And actually, because this is looking a bit bare over here, I think... There we go, I like that. If I just pop him maybe there. And now we've got like... It's got a framing to it. I love a bit of photography myself, so I like the framing of this. We've got lots of interest on the outside, and everything's sort of pointing to the middle. This one's kind of bringing it back inwards, so there's me in my creative mode. I think this is it. I think this is how I'm going to do the tank. But we'll see. I can always change it if I get to a certain stage and not too much has grown. But I think everything's quite secure. Maybe that one might need a little bit of anchorage at some point. That's fine. That's fine. That's obviously fine. And this guy's good. But yeah, so that is the fun part for me. That is the setting up of the aquascape. Now for the interesting bit, which for me is the harder bit. And that's all the technical stuff. So let's see how we do. So now for the bit I was a little bit apprehensive about, but I'm basically just going to follow the instructions that came with the kit here and just see if I can figure out where everything goes. To be honest, they're pretty self-explanatory instructions. Everything's labelled. There's pictures. I love a picture guide. That really helps me. So let's see. Step 1, connect pump to outlet. So I do know this one here is my pump. There we go. What you can't see is a massive pile of wires and pumps and pipes at my feet. So yeah, that's where I'm getting all this from. It's just springing from the depths. So what we've got here is the pump. This is the submersible pump from Fluval. I believe this came with the tank originally. So I'm just going to, I think, slide that in there. Got these like suckers at the bottom. Give that a little bit of a shove. Hang on a second. See if I can do this. Okay, so that's the pump in. It's got a little hole in the side here for the pipe to go through. So pop that in there now. And then I'm not exactly sure how this wiring plugging setup is going to go yet. So I'm going to leave that till last, but I've got plenty of plugs over here and extension cables, so I'm just going to work that out as I go. So next up we have got the filter media. Now this filter media is already in here for me, which I'm really happy about, so thank you Liam, thank you for sending me that already. So that's already in there, it's got its sponges, it's got everything it needs. What else? And the skimmer. So we've got a skimmer here. It's the Kent Nano Skimmer 300. And I'm going to pop that in this back section here. So we've got the filter in the front section. We've got the filter media in this bit. And then I've got the skimmer just here. Also what I've got in the side here, and I think I have some more, for example, what I've also got in the back one here is some yellow bacteria balls. Fun. So they look like this. Don't know if that's gonna focus, it probably won't, but there you go. So we've got some bacteria balls here, and these will basically help the natural process of creating the environment for a live, living fish tank. So these are some spares that I have as well. I'll probably put them in, do you know what, I'm going to put these in too, because I think these ones are a bit more fresh, should we say. So I'm just going to pop them in the back. But there are more in there already. Lovely. And now for the skimmer. So we've got the skimmer here. I'm not 100% sure how these work. I'm just going to find out as I go. So you might know more than me. Congrats. Right, so I think I'm just going to pop this in there. Oh, maybe the other way actually. Yeah, we'll go with that. Cool. again, I'll get all my plugs, I'll pop them to the side here, and then hanging off the edge, away from all the water, make sure that's all good. Okay, so we've also got the heating element here, which I believe just goes in, I'm just looking at the diagram here, yeah, that should just go in next to the filter, so that's going to slot in here. It's got some sucker bits that I popped it in there, so good guess, does that bit stay out the water? Just so I can actually do it. Oh no, it can go a bit lower, that's okay then. So, I'm just gonna try and secure that. I think it might need to be a little bit wet. Okay, so I could be completely wrong here, but I think this is the basic setup. The final thing I've got is a little kind of pulsating wave maker. This is the Fluval seed. I think this is the one that came with it. Just going to put it in the back here for now. Press. Oh. Go. Bring that over the back. Lovely. Okay, so this is my basic setup. I think the next step is going to be adding the water, which is a little bit scary, but let's go. Time to add the water. I have got a bucket here, half full because I can't carry a full one right now without definitely making a mess of everything. It's pre-mixed salt water. I've got 2 huge big bottles of 25 litres, so they should fill this up nicely. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slowly pour it in. This is where I find out if there's any leaks. I may have made a mistake here, or this could be part of the setup. So I think 2 things have happened here. Either, or and, I've put the sand in first, when maybe I should have put the water in first and everything else in first, and then slowly added the water and maybe added the sand at the same time. I don't know. You may know more than me. But also, I think what's happening is because it's a new setup, this is like a bloom of nutrients and things. It's possible I could have or should have rinsed some of the sand before I put it in. That would have maybe caused less of this fog. But overall, I don't think it's anything harmful. I think it is a natural process of the tank. There's also a bit of foam forming at the top, which I think is a good thing. I think that's the bacteria starting to form. It's the nutrients starting to come out. It's starting to create a habitat that's actually livable for things like coral. Okay, so I think what I'll do now is I'll just get it finished. Okay, let's make sure everything actually works. So, the light. Just like there. Just gonna put the wire through here. Plug that in. Woo! Hey! And then there was light. Now you can see all this cloud even more brightly, so that's good. Right, what else should we plug in? Let's do the... Okay, that's that one. I'm going to do the pump next, I think. That's probably the most important part at the moment, is the pump. Don't really need the light on for a while because there's not going to be anything in there. But I'm just going to make sure this is all wiped down. So what have we got here? That's the skimmer. And which one's the pump? The pump is here. Try not getting a tangle with this. Hey, we have water flow. Now, this is not a new tank, it is secondhand, so I've given it as good a clean as I can, but there will be some bits that come out in that. But yeah, she works. Oh, actually, I've just realised it's not fully in the hole there, so there we go. If I pop it in there, that's better. Wonderful. And then I'm going to pop on the skimmer. which is this one, I think. Let's see what this will do. Oops, actually just give these plugs a little dust off. There we go. Yep, skim is doing something. You can see there's water coming up through here. So I think that's just taking off the top layer, skimming the top layer, and it's going to just filter that as it goes. So yeah, skim is working. Excellent. And then finally, right in this back corner, clearly, as you can see, we've got the wave machine. So I'm going to pop that in as well. And potentially that's working. Can we see? No. So I'm just going to take off the lid and have a little look. Okay, so it's not working because it wasn't the right plug. I don't know what I've just plugged in. So, the heater, that's what I've plugged in. Good. That's probably more essential than the wave maker at this point as well. But yeah, I can see the heater. There's a very small light on there, so I can see that starting to light up. I'm just going to test this instead of the heater, make sure it works, and then I think I'm just going to have to get a bigger extension cable for this. There we go, wave worker's working nicely. We got a bit of wave going on here. Fantastic. Okay, so the tank is now set up, ready to go, and now I just have to let it flow through and filtrate and do all those important things to make it ready for life to be added, and then it gets really exciting. That's where I'm going to leave it today. I think I've done absolutely as much as I possibly can for the first day of setup. As things progress with the tank, I will be sure to update you. In the next video, I'm sure we'll actually have less cloud and something to look at, but who knows? Marine tanks can be a little bit unpredictable, and this is not going to be a fast process at all. So I will be coming back with more then. I'll have also hopefully a bigger extension cable so I can actually plug in everything I need to plug in. And yeah, I can't wait to share this journey with you, and I'm so excited to make this tank my own. Okay, see you next time. Bye.